Welcome, everyone, to This Explainer. I am absolutely compelled to share today's story with you because we are stepping directly into one of the most shocking, genuinely pivotal moments in modern history. Imagine this. I want you to drop right into the tension of a crisp, seemingly ordinary morning in New Delhi. It's October 31st, 1984. The air is calm, the compound is quiet, but literally within minutes, the course of an entire nation is going to be violently, irrevocably altered. We're looking at a story of intense loyalty, deep division, and ultimate betrayal.
Section 1. The Assassination, October 31st, 1984.
Okay, let's dive into this. On this crisp morning, India's first and only female Prime Minister, Indira Gandhi, decides she's just going to walk to an adjoining office for a TV interview. 9:20 a.m., she steps out of 1 Safdarjung Road. 9:21 a.m., she approaches the connecting gate. Now, standing there are two of her most trusted personal bodyguards, men specifically assigned to protect her life. But as she approaches, the absolute unthinkable happens. One guard, Beant Singh, unexpectedly pulls his service revolver. Without a single word of warning, he just fires 3 shots directly into the Prime Minister.
As the bullets strike her, Indira Gandhi collapses to the ground. In the sheer shock and confusion of those split seconds, she manages to utter just one final, totally bewildered phrase, "What are you doing?" Beside Beant Singh, the second guard, Satwant Singh, completely freezes. He hesitates. Seeing this, Beant turns and actually snarls at his partner, shouting, "What are you watching? Shoot!"
And man, shoot he did. Satwant Singh raises his automatic weapon and just opens fire. The statistics of this attack are frankly absolutely brutal. 31 bullets were fired in total, 30 of those hit her body, 23 passed completely through, and 7 remained lodged inside. I mean, it's immediate chaos. She's rushed to Ames Hospital, a frantic 4-kilometer drive away. Inside, India's absolute best doctors fight desperately to save her life. Outside the operating theater, her daughter-in-law, Sonia Gandhi, is weeping, while her son, Rajiv Gandhi, is totally unaware. He's away campaigning in West Bengal. But despite all their desperate efforts, at 2 p.m., she is officially declared dead.
Section 2. The Roots of Conflict. Flashback to June 1984.
So you got to be asking yourself, why did her own guards do this? How does a nation's leader get gunned down by the very men vetted and chosen to protect her? To answer that, we have to rewind a bit to the rising Sikh separatist movement in the state of Punjab. Right at the center of this movement was a powerful militant leader named Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale. He was demanding the creation of Khalistan, which was to be a separate, independent Sikh nation. As tensions with the government reached a massive boiling point, Bhindranwale and his heavily armed followers took refuge inside the Golden Temple in Amritsar. Now, just for context, this is the holiest shrine in all of Sikhism. He barricaded himself inside, basically operating under the assumption that the Indian government would never dare launch a military assault on such a sacred religious site.
Section 3. Operation Blue Star, the military assault.
Let's move forward and see how this builds into the critical turning point of our story. Facing this escalating crisis that she felt severely threatened the unity of India, Indira Gandhi made a fateful, highly controversial decision. She ordered a military strike to clear the militants out of the holy site. And the scale of this assault? It was massive. 10,000 Indian army soldiers were deployed to surround the temple. They utilized heavy weaponry, we're talking tanks and grenades, storming the sacred complex. The battle was incredibly fierce, and Bhindranwale was killed during the assault. But tragically, the collateral damage was devastating. Hundreds of innocent Sikh pilgrims, people who had literally just come to the temple to pray, were caught in the crossfire and killed. And the Golden Temple itself sustained heavy physical damage.
And this brilliantly illustrates the massive, tragic divide this event created. We see two stark, totally irreconcilable perspectives here. On the one hand, you have the view of the government. This was an unfortunate but completely necessary security operation to neutralize a militant threat and preserve national integrity, right? But on the other hand, you have the perspective of the Sikh community. This was a direct, profound attack on their deeply held faith and their holiest sanctuary. For many, it was a deeply traumatic desecration. And in the aftermath, many swore they would absolutely take revenge on those responsible for the order.
Section 4. A Vow for Revenge. The Guards' Turn.
Which brings us right back to the guards. Now, Beant Singh wasn't just some random security officer, okay? He had served as Indira Gandhi's personal guard for an entire decade. 10 years of dedicated service. But in the wake of Operation Blue Star, he, like so many others, became entirely consumed by grief and hatred. You know, history often hinges on very specific, deeply personal interactions. One day while at a Gurudwara, a Sikh place of worship, Beant Singh was visibly mourning the events of Operation Blue Star. His uncle approached him and literally said these exact words, Why are you sad? Take revenge. That single sentence was the catalyst. It was the moment that basically sealed Indira Gandhi's fate. Motivated by this charge, Beant approached Satwant Singh, who was also just burning with anger over the temple assault, and convinced him to join the plot.
But here is the profound, tragic irony of this entire sequence of events. The intelligence agencies actually knew there was a risk. Step 1. Intelligence explicitly warned the Prime Minister about the danger of keeping Sikh guards in her inner security detail following the military operation. Step 2. Indira Gandhi flatly refused to have them removed. She genuinely believed that purging Sikh guards from her detail would send the absolute wrong message, signaling a lack of trust that would only deepen the country's religious divisions. And so, because of her refusal to isolate her guards, Step 3 happens. Beant and Satwant choose the morning of October 31st to act.
Section 5. The tragic aftermath. Anti-Sikh riots.
When the news of the assassination finally broke, when the public learned that the Prime Minister had actually been gunned down by her own Sikh bodyguards, the immediate reaction wasn't just shock, it was an explosion of terrifying, unbridled violence. The order of society seemingly collapsed overnight as horrifying nationwide violence erupted. And the stark reality of these riots is deeply, deeply disturbing. Roving mobs targeted the Sikh community directly. Sikhs were being dragged out of buses and shot in the streets. Entire neighborhoods saw homes, businesses, and properties looted and completely burned to the ground. The terror was so absolute that within just 3 days, 20,000 Sikhs fled the capital city of Delhi seeking safety. And adding to the gravity of this dark chapter, later reports indicated that certain leaders within Indira Gandhi's own political party, the Congress Party, were actually directly implicated in organizing and facilitating this targeted violence.
So, the crucial point is the human cost of this retaliatory violence. Over 8,000. Let that massive number just sit there for a second. That represents the estimated nationwide death toll of innocent Sikhs murdered in the days following the assassination. In Delhi alone, which was really the epicenter of the riots, nearly 2,800 Sikhs were killed. Think about that. The assassination of one leader triggered the slaughter of thousands of innocent citizens.
Section 6. A prophetic final speech. Bhuvaneshwara.
To truly grasp the historical weight of this story, we actually need to look at what happened the exact day before the assassination. On October 30th, Indira Gandhi was in Bhuvaneshwar speaking at a large election rally. And it was here that she delivered what would become an incredibly profound, almost eerie instance of historical foreshadowing. I want you to look at these words. "I don't mind if my life goes in the service of this nation. If I die today, every drop of my blood will invigorate the nation." She spoke these words to the crowds, completely unaware that in less than 24 hours, they would become a chilling, literal reality. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a thought. We see a prime minister taking a definitive action for national security, which then incites a devastating religious betrayal, which in turn ignites a horrific civilian massacre. It forces us to ask, in the vast, complex web of history, where does the cycle of action and violent reaction ever truly end? Thanks so much for walking through this complex history with me today.